Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We will be streaming live soon.
Live from the campus of the Mount Zion Baptist Church of Kalamazoo, Michigan, welcome to Celebrating Black Excellence. With your hosts, the conscious of Kalamazoo, Brother Buddy Hanna, and the pastor of the Mount Zion Baptist Church, Dr. Addis Moore.
Welcome to another installment of Celebrating Black Excellence. This program is fastly becoming one of the most watched on Facebook and YouTube because we're celebrating what blacks are doing in an excellent way. And so we're back again, and thank God for my co-host, Buddy. And once again, we're back, and we got an exciting show tonight.
Hey, well, listen, we're glad to be back with you. And as our pastor said, it's everywhere I go, people are talking about it. They've seen it on Facebook, they've seen it on YouTube, and we're just happy that they're doing it. And, hey, you know, a month go by fast, man. You know,
my goodness.
We was just here, you know. So,
we were just here,
yep.
But we're back again, and we're ready to go. Tell you what we'll do. I need you to help me now. There's somebody that is that should be watching tonight that's not on. And guarantee tonight, there's information you're going to learn that you do not know. You're going to receive some inspiration and encouragement. This, I promise you, is going to be motivating tonight because we're going to be talking about eating, and we're going to be talking about cleaning, and we're going to be talking about health. And so think about that. Eating, cleaning, health, Bubba. That's what we're talking about.
Can't beat that. You can't beat that.
And so we've got some exciting guests that's doing exciting things in our community, in this community. And so go ahead and share. hit that share button. I tried it the other night, and I see that the share button still works. And so go ahead and share it with somebody, and do that right now before our guest comes, because once we get going, you're not going to want to miss any of the information that's sharing tonight. Go ahead and share it and get in touch with somebody and say, look, we're back on Celebrating Black Excellence tonight, and we've got 3 guests tonight. 3 guests, exciting, and we're ready to go. Buddy, we're ready to go.
We're ready. We're ready, and we hope you're ready, because we're doing what we said we wanted to do, and let's get it started.
Let's get started. So tonight, we're excited tonight, and most of you may have tasted, you've heard people talking about it, and so tonight we have the owner of Load a Spud, Jared Bowman, and he's here tonight, and so we're going to be talking about those big, gigantic potatoes with all the stuff on it. So Jared, welcome tonight. We're glad to have you here tonight. Additionally, we've got, and when you see this person, you'll see the smile on the face, because the smile represents her business venture, Smile Saver, is here. And this has to do with hygiene, dental hygiene. We have Tiffany Burns. So Tiffany, welcome to Celebrating Black Excellence. And now this guest here it is, a veterinarian. And not only just a veterinarian, but a mobile veterinarian services. And we have Dr. Tanera Kroon here tonight with us right here as we celebrate Black Excellence. So, buddy, I've introduced them. Let's get going. Let's do it.
All right. Well, hey, we're going to start. Normally we start with ladies first, but Brother Bowman, we're going to start with you, brother. Okay. Let's get it going.
Just before we get started, buddy, now, I forgot to say that if you have questions or comments, please share them. Please type them in the chat. And we've got our, buddy, you got your machine on?
I got my machine on, man. I love this.
Okay, you know? And so I got my machine, and we've been taught how to read it.
Right,
They've told us, don't touch it, just
don't
read
touch it.
Don't. So they've got it set up so we actually can read your comments, and we're not going to touch it, because if we touch it, we won't be able to read the comments. And so go ahead and type your comments and questions for any of our guests as we talk tonight, and we'll get them as many as we can to our guests before we get off the air.
Exactly.
Better. I think we're ready. I think you got it.
Okay.
I
think you got it.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, hey, we're going to start out with you, Brother Bowman, and tell us a little bit about your business, Load a Spud. Okay?
Yes, it's a Load a Spud. It's a Load a Spud potato bar. So basically, that's exactly what it is. It's a baked potato bar. It's the main thing we do. It's 20 ways you can load it. We have fries and sweet potatoes additionally that you can put the same toppings on. Basically, it's your everyday things that you eat, but it's on a baked potato. So we have anything from steak and cheese, bacon, broccoli, and cheese, and we have anything from pulled pork to a gyro to chili to chicken or shrimp Alfredo. So it's really, the options are endless. I mean, you can make it exactly how you want it. It's basically just like Subway, but it's for a baked potato.
Now, your business is fairly new here in Kalamazoo, right? And where are you located?
Yeah, so I'm located on Western Michigan campus in the Campus Point Plaza. So it's the address is 2624 West Michigan Avenue. It's right between Subway and East Egg, the breakfast restaurant over there.
Now, Jared, this is your business. You the owner, right?
Yeah, I'm the sole owner. It's just
only
me.
Now, did y'all hear? He owns Load a Spud, and
in other words, he runs everything.
He runs.
Literally too, because there's only me and one employee too right now.
Oh wow, man!
So yeah, I literally run it. I'm there every day.
So now, help us with this. Now, you're very young, but you've got your own business. You actually operated and Load a Spud, and I've actually seen one of those because they were talking about them so much. I wanted to get one, and so we ordered one, and it was about this big. and I literally thought, usually you get those little ones, but this one is that big, and it has everything on it, and it took me 3 days to eat it. And so where'd this come from? Where'd the inspiration for this come from?
So Load a Spud, it started about 5 or 6 years ago now in Grand Rapids. Basically, it started in somebody's kitchen. Basically, the husband and wife were cooking dinner. It involved baked potatoes, steak, and they put it all together. It was like, let's try it out. They already owned their own restaurants and stuff, so they were already in the business. And so they opened up, added tacos and salad to the menu, and it kind of bloomed from there. And then a year ago, my dad, he opened up one with his partner, and I was working there, so that's how I kind of got involved with it. And so I had just graduated about a year before that from Western and up here in Kalamazoo. So I just thought, hey, like I went to school for business. I mean, that was just my opportunity. I saw how to operate it. I saw the daily operations of everything, and I thought it was feasible. I knew I can do it, so I just put my mind to it and did it. That's honestly what I did.
Man. Well, tell us now, what are some of the challenges that you faced in terms of doing this, not only from a business standpoint, but also from the community, trying to get loans? What are some of the challenges and roadblocks that you had to overcome?
I mean, really the biggest challenge first is just getting started in the beginning. I mean, you can say you're going to do something a million times a day, you tell everybody, but you really still have to put that footwork in behind that and actually do what you say you're going to do. So, I mean, it was days where I didn't do anything and I didn't get any results, so I really just had to stay focused and actually take action and have a list day by day to get things done and be able to open this. I mean, as far as my community, like, I felt like I had a lot of support. I mean, it still was hard for me to find funding in the beginning just because it was just a new restaurant, so it didn't have any, like, money track, like, it didn't have any record or money, so it wasn't proven to be profitable for them to want to give me a loan, basically. So it was difficult in the beginning to find funding, but I did secure that in the end. And really just as far as, like I said, telling everybody, like sometimes people will discourage you and tell you what you can't do, and you really just gotta just only listen to yourself, and you can't really let that clouded judgment get in the way of what you know you can do, or it might really do set you back from what you're trying to accomplish. So.
Wow, now it was said that I read that you decided that you didn't want to work for anyone else. You decided that you were going to own your own business. So where did that inspiration come from?
Really, I like the freedom of having my own business. I like being able to do what I want to do. I mean, I feel like working for somebody, I kind of got to follow their rules, and that's kind of something that's hard for me to do, honestly. Like, I don't like to listen to people. I don't like authority that much. I mean, I still respect my authority, but still, like, if I can put myself in a position to, you know what I'm saying, be my own boss, like, that'll be 10 times better than working for somebody else and not really getting all the benefits that they're getting. So that was the main thing that made me want to open up my own business.
Now, you said that you went to school for business?
Yeah, I went to school for sales and business marketing.
So did you have this idea initially that to open up yours, or you was just saying, I'm going to work for somebody else when you started going to school?
I mean, in the beginning, when I first started going to school, honestly, I started going to school for engineering in the beginning for one semester, and that wasn't for me. Then I switched to business. That was always my backup plan. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do in the beginning, but at first I was considering the route of going to like work for a big company or something like that, but going through school, I just realized like, no, that's not for me. And that's when I focused on something that I always knew I would like to do too, is own a business or have something in that nature. I mean, my family, I come from a family of business owners, and so, I mean, it's something I've always been kind of involved with. So, yeah, that's kind of what.
We just got a question for you, by the way. So,
Okay.
you know, and the question is, what are the hours for Load or Spud?
All right, so we open Monday through Wednesday right now, 11 to 11, and then Thursday through Saturday we open 11 to 2 in the morning, and Sundays we're closed.
Good. Praise the Lord. All right, great. Let's move to our next guest.
Hey, we got these two charming young ladies, so we're going to stay on this side of the room.
Okay.
All right. Let's see here. Dr. Kroom, how you doing?
Doing well. How are
Good,
you?
good. Tell us a little bit about what you do, and people hear veterinarian. Wow. Tell us how you got started in all of this, how you got interested in some of the things that you started your own company, I see, and just tell us a little bit about how you got started.
Yes, sir. Well, you got to take it back to the home. First of all, you have to take it back to the home. And with my parents, I'm originally from Grand Rapids, so I know you've got a lot of these Kalamazoo natives, and we're here in the Kalamazoo Church. But I am originally from Grand Rapids. Am I looking at the correct camera here? Yes. Okay. Hey, look. Hey, we're in church. So, and both of my parents are educators. So, Mr. and Mrs. James and Gertrude Kroom of Grand Rapids. You couldn't really grow up in Grand Rapids and be a daughter of the Krooms and, run around doing things. So my dad taught science and my mother taught political science. So I just kind of skewed towards the natural sciences, and that's what really gave me my love. My dad, hey daddy, he did all kind of science projects with me. He brought home, baby chicks and chameleons and just really, really sparked my love of nature and animals. So that's where I got it from. And I'm just super blessed, we're in the house of the Lord, and I'm very, very blessed to have been born to the parents that I was born to, because, we don't have any control over that. And so I was raised with excellence, Black excellence in the household, and high expectations. It was kind of like A's, B's, and COA out of here with those C's, right? So that's really where my background in the love of animals and science came in. And then I was blessed to have been able to attend 2 historically Black colleges. So I went to Xavier University in New Orleans, and then I also attended Tuskegee College of Veterinary Medicine in Tuskegee, Alabama. And one thing that my mother specifically, hey mom, always taught us is that for undergrad, if you can get that Black college experience in undergrad, go ahead and do that, But when you get to the graduate level, you really just trying to get in because it's very, very competitive at that level. So for me to have been able to go to 2, super extraordinary and, out of the ordinary. So that's kind of where my start came. Went into the military straight out of vet school, went into the Army Veterinary Corps. And one of the things that really got me going there, because I never had done any ROTC or anything like that, but we were visited in my 3rd year of vet school by this statuesque, well put together Black full bird colonel, Nathaniel Colonel Powell, and he came up and talked to us, and from then on I was like, ooh, I want to go into the military, I want to do that. So I did that right out of vet school. Was stationed in Northern California at Travis Air Force Base, did that, and then I came back to Michigan. I was married, had my daughter, came back to Michigan, and from there, I did a couple of veterinary jobs that led me to eventually working for myself. And here I am.
Well, I can tell you already, I learned something tonight. I'm an Army veteran myself.
Cool.
I didn't even know they had a veterinary corps.
A lot of people
never
don't.
thought about it, I never even thought about it. That, hey, wait a minute, Yeah. So I learned something that they do have one, So, we're going to come back to you and talk some more about some of the. Well, let's just talk about it now. What are some of the challenges that you faced in terms of doing what you do and getting your business started and everything? What are some of the roadblocks and things that you had to overcome?
Well, first of all, probably a lot of people on your, broadcast right now maybe have never met a Black veterinarian in their life. That's first things first. I come across that quite a bit. And that's not necessarily a roadblock, that really doesn't bother me at all, but that's something that I come across, and it's just kind of like the wonderment of it, But there are quite a few of us, and most of us did go to Tuskegee, and we're just spread all out. Being up north here, it's a little less prevalent, but once you go down south, then you really start to see, a larger preponderance of Black veterinarians. We're everywhere, and we're amazing. Shout out to all the Black veterinarians out there. So other roadblocks, when I started my mobile service and started working for myself, my family is always very supportive. But when you leave a steady, stable, I work for the Department of Agriculture as a public health veterinarian, stable benefits, all of that stuff. And then like, oh, mom and dad, I'm gonna, hang out my shingle and, work for myself and go house to house and home to home with, checking on people's pets. And you're like, Tanera, now, is you sure about this? And I just had to push forward, just like the gentleman said here about pushing forward and listening to your own heart. That's exactly what I did when I, took that leap. So, and also mobile veterinarians aren't as well known. People are used to taking their pet into the vet and doing that. And, but once this whole pandemic thing started, interesting thing is, now, this is pretty normal. There are a lot of veterinarians that were in brick and mortar that are now starting to do this, and I'm already, set up.
So you were ahead of the game.
I was ahead of the game.
And what's so impressive about this, because everybody I know now has a dog, has a cat, has a mouse, has a bird, has a fish, or has some kind of animal, and that's phenomenal. Even my oldest son, during the COVID-19, they got a dog. So that's impressive to me. And to meet a black veterinarian, and you got a mobile veterinary service. So I'm sure there's a lot of people out there now really want to talk to you and really want to shout at you. So this is phenomenal. And you kind of mentioned it, Dr. Kroon, that you actually left a stable job and to start off on your own. And you're a black woman, and you talk about that phenomenal experience. What type of challenges did you have being a black woman actually moving into this field where we don't see a lot of black veterinarians? What type of challenge did you have with that?
Well, both my upbringing and my time in the military gave me a lot of great leadership skills. So there's really not a lot that's gonna shake me up. I'm not gonna let it shake me up. But some of the things that I've run across with my mobile service, I go to the home, and I'm not usually by myself. I have the amazing vet tech Tonisha White. She's actually a Kalamazoo native, and so she's also African-American female. She's a veterinary technician, and she's amazing. We would go to the homes, and one home we pulled up in the yard, huge Confederate flag hanging over the door, and we don't have to get political here in the house of the Lord, but when you walk under a flag like that and you're walking into a home that, you just have to get that state of mind, like, you know what, forget about that. We're here for the animal. We're here for the pet to take care of them. And usually, people, even with different political backgrounds and thoughts and upbringings, are usually very, very friendly. They just want what they need for their pet. So that's another thing. Another home we were in, it was interesting. They had a lot of the little hanging chimes. They were inside the house though. They were just all throughout the house. And so Vet Tech Tony and I were leaning down to do a nail trim. And we looked up, one of the chimes, Confederate flag again. So that's some of the things where you have to, overlook some of the things that people, their ideologies, and just move forward with what you're gonna do. Don't let that shake you up. Stay professional as always. That would probably be one of the biggest things that I've had to overcome.
Tiffany, how you doing?
I'm awesome.
Good. Well, let's talk a little bit about you with that beautiful smile, because that's our business, And we want you to tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started with your service, which is a mobile service as well. And so tell us a little bit about yourself and how your service came about.
Well, I am Tiffany, and I am the owner and operator of Smile Savers Mobile Dental Health Service. And I am a mobile service that goes out into the community and provides dental care for those who cannot get out in the community. So anybody who's handicapped, homebound, children, nursing homes, schools, I go and provide dental care for them. I've been doing the mobile dental for 7 years. I've been a hygienist for 15 years, and I've been in the dental field for 30 years. So I'm pretty familiar with what goes all around in the dental field and what needs to be done. With the mobile dental, it's very interesting. I had a lot of obstacles starting this. When I first got out of dental hygiene school, I was told I couldn't do it. I really didn't know why they told me that. At that time, the state was just coming out with a program where hygienists could go into the community to provide dental care for those in need. And you had to be a nonprofit. So me and another hygienist were excited about this because I knew that's where my heart was. I wanted to serve the community, just serve the community and those in need. I had worked in various dental settings before where I saw the lack of need for those who didn't have insurance or had state-funded insurance, and they weren't getting served properly. So I said, I can do this. I can do this. So looked into the paperwork, a lot of paperwork, discouraging, you know, paperwork, people telling you can't do it. But then, prayed to God, got focused, got my faith strengthened, and pursued it. So, and I say when you're on a mission to do things, God puts things in place for you. So I had a patient who was a lawyer. He did my nonprofit status for me free. Everything fell in place. The funding, I got friends and family helped me with funding to start to get equipment that I needed, and it took off from there. So we going around in Kalamazoo providing dental care for those. So you guys have seen me telling you to floss. So that's that's what Smile Savers is about.
So, but Tiffany, where'd you get this passion from? Was it from just looking into Dirty Miles all the time? Where did passion come from? Because you got this enormous passion, particularly for children and their hygiene, and you just want to get in and get it clean. And so where did this passion come from, that you just felt that you just got to do this?
Yeah, I remember when I was probably about 7th grade, I just remembered, I told my mom, I want to be a dentist. And she was like, oh, okay, tough. And from then, I just knew I needed to be in the dental field. So I didn't quite make the dentist, but I worked as a dental assistant, dental receptionist, dental lab tech, everything they do in the dental field. Then I decided to go back to school in my late 30s. So that's encouragement for anybody who thinks that they're too old to go to school. You're not. You can still learn and still focus. So I went to school. I was the oldest one in the class, in the dental hygiene class. Graduated, got licensed, and started working in a private office. But my passion wasn't there. It wasn't there. So that's what kept motivating me to, I need to get out on my own and help those who aren't coming into this office, especially the kids, and get those teeth clean and let them know that it's important to have your mouth clean just to help with your overall health also.
Wow. Now look.
And let me add something.
Oh, okay.
One thing, you know, what I notice is oral hygiene is often neglected, and it's a part of overall care. And most people don't go to the dentist or seek out a dentist until they have pain. And that shouldn't be. You should go to the dentist. You should have a regular dentist just like you have a doctor. So if you have pain or any issues, you can call that dentist and get in and get your issue. Oral health, if you have bacteria in your mouth, it can travel through your body. And it can cause issues, especially if you have any other systemic diseases. So that's why I'm so passionate about getting people to get their teeth cleaned and keep their oral health optimal, because it affects your overall health.
Okay, so look, you can give us your questions and your comments, because we got 3 people. Remember, we're dealing with your diet, we're dealing with your pets, and now we're dealing with your dental hygiene. So come on and share your comments. And Dr. Kroom, I see one comment from Alicia Johnson, and Alicia says, good to see you, Dr. Kroom, my fellow BB and WWL.
My fellow, say that again, what was it?
Good to see you, Dr. Kroom, my fellow BB and WWL. I read it like I got it.
Oh.
So what's WWL? What's BB?
Is that something you can share?
Yeah, can you share that? What's the BB and the WWL?
It just took me a little second. That's the Women Who Lift. I'm in a weightlifting program right now out of Detroit. It's the Shed out of Detroit, and so I do that virtually. And so that's Alicia, one of my classmates. We have a coach I lifted this morning. Today was biceps day.
All right.
I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, Tiff? You know what I'm saying? Not trying to be weak in 2021, right?
Okay, we got you.
Okay. Women who live.
Let's jump back over to you, Brother Bo. You're a young man, you know. There are a lot of sometimes negative stigmas placed on young men, but you dispel that by your actions and what you're doing. When you started your business, how did other young men that within your circle, how did they come? How did they respond to you?
Most of them really were excited, like probably more excited than me. In most cases, they supported me like 100%. Like they always ask me every time they saw me, like how things were going, and they asked me questions that they feel like, I feel like once they know I was opening my business and stuff, they know I graduated, I became like the outlet to a lot of my friends. Like a lot of people come to me and ask me questions about business in general and just how to start things and kind of get things started for themselves. So I was happy for that too, to know that I kind of motivated more people around me to kind of get off their feet and get started doing something, especially with me being so young. That kind of shined the light in a lot of people's heads, like it's time to do something, you know. So that's what a lot of my friends, like they really was just there for me and they supported me and made sure I was on my P's and Q's the whole time. So.
Okay, so here's a question that we really, and we usually ask all of our guests. You've succeeded to a certain extent, each one of you. And so in spite of all the injustices, prejudices, setbacks, and roadblocks, you still are able to do what you're doing and press through. What keeps you going? What keeps you pressing through? If you have roadblocks, setbacks, some injustice, you still are doing it because each one of you has pressed through to do it. So can you get each one of you to answer that? We'll start with Tiffany. What keeps you going? Because you said that there was some discouragement, people trying to talk you out of it, and we know what kind of climate we live in, but you're still doing it. So what keeps you going?
My faith, first of all, and being an advocate for those who can't advocate for themselves. I've been out here and I see the need in dental. It's a tremendous need that is lacking. And I know I am one voice that can make a difference. So that's what keeps me motivated.
All right. Dr. Curl?
Well, you know, in addition to my faith in God, and I would say that it's the fact that I know there are all those kids out there that maybe have never met a black veterinarian or really realize that they can do this too. That's what really keeps me going. You know, I created a future veterinarian program that before the pandemic, we were meeting in, you know, pet supply stores and different places like that. That was so much fun, so great for the kids to be able to come out. And then when this hit, we're gonna be going virtual soon. Basically, the kids need to know they haven't been exposed to this, and I've recently actually become an enrichment provider for Kalamazoo Public Schools, so every week I'm on virtually with them with my Future Vet program. It's the kids, definitely the kids.
I would have to say most definitely is just being the proof that we all, even us three up here all together, can do whatever we, you know what I'm saying, set out to do, especially like living in the world we live in. We got so many things and systems set up against us for us and put in place for us to fail. Like, that's my biggest thing. My thing that make me the most happy is knowing that I overcame all these things that was put against me and accomplished what I set out to do. And then just to motivate everybody else to know that they can do the same thing. And don't get discouraged by what these people think about us or how they feel we're supposed to be. And really, instead of, you know what I'm saying, being loud about it, I feel like this is the perfect way for us to show, you know what I'm saying, improve what we're worthy of is to go out and get it ourselves. You know, it's been too long, like people, like we've been talking about it and saying what we need and what we need to have, but it's up to us to get out and get it. I mean, honestly, that's what these people been doing themselves. They setting up for their own self and building their wealth for their own self. So we need to start worrying about them and just get over it. If it don't affect, not if it don't affect us. We still need to be involved in things that's going wrong in the community. But sometimes we focus on the wrong things, and it get in the way of what we could be accomplishing for real. So that's the main thing.
Man, if you were in church, I'd say, amen. You better say it. I tell you to go and preach. Here's a comment for everyone, and then there's a question. Comment, it's awesome for our children to be able to see themselves in others that look like them. And so we got that comment from one of our viewers. And here's a question. Are there websites for each company so that if you can you share those and we can put those on the screen, websites and how we can get in touch with each one of you? Can we share? We start with, Tiffany. Yeah.
You can, Smile Savers has a Facebook page, and our website is www.smilessaved.com. Phone number 269-270-7060. Right now we're taking appointments. If you need an assessment or a cleaning, just give us a call and I'll get you scheduled.
Say that one more time. Now give that information one more time.
Smile Savers Facebook page, website www.smilessaved.com. Phone number 269-270-7060.
Dr. Kroom?
You can find us on Facebook as well at Dr. Kroom Army Vet. That's the business page. The website is drkroom.com. That's spelled DRCROOM.com. And our line is 269-873-1311.
All right. Dr. Spud? I'm sorry. I'm not. Jared?
Okay, so we have a Facebook and Instagram page. It's Load A Spud, KZoo, that's 3 words, and KZoo is KZOO. And then it's the same thing for our website. It's Load A Spud, KZoo.com. You can place an order directly online for pickup through that website. And you can check us out on Facebook or Instagram at the same name.
All right, thank you. Buddy, I think that our comments and questions are heating up. You want to?
They heating up. I'm going to tell you now, they heating up. So, Tiffany, we'll start with you.
Okay.
Got the first question. Well, that was still going. Let's make sure. The question is, okay, they and you got a long one too, Dr. Kroom. So don't worry. We're gonna get you. Well, this one is still going for you, Tiffany.
So I'll get Dr. Kroom while you getting ready for Tiffany.
You get Dr. Kroom while I wait on Tiffany.
This is for our vet. My dog always scratches. My dog always starts to scratch herself a lot, and her eyes water in the springtime. She's definitely uncomfortable. What is out there that I can use to help her be more comfortable?
Well, veterinarians, just like human doctors, cannot prescribe until we've examined. So I can't, just write a prescription for you or anything like that. But I actually do have a line of high-quality supplements. One is called Skin and Coat. And that one, as well as a digestive supplement, which is a probiotic, I would say probably both of those together would probably get your pooch, a little more calmed down. A lot of times, owners like to do some over-the-counter stuff, like they'll give Benadryl, and that's really just a short-acting, short-term, and it's really not the best. You probably need to come check me out. I will guide you to my nutraceuticals, the Skin and Coat and the digestive supplement.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay, Tiffany, we got you. We had you. Now they start again. I'm going to do it real quick before they do some more. Tiffany, do you recommend teeth whitening strips, and is there a caution in the length of time they should be used?
Personally, I always tell people get your teeth cleaned and examined first before you do whitening. Whitening can be sensitive, especially if you have root recession. If your enamel is thin, you can get sensitive and the whitening won't work. So I always say get an exam first. I always tell people if you want to try whitening, try it after you get your teeth clean. And then you will see if you actually whiten. Most people don't whiten how they think they will whiten, but that's a good time to try whitening.
And another part of that question is, what toothpaste do you recommend?
I recommend Arm & Hammer. And I recommend that because I've seen it clinically in the statistics of it. It cleans the teeth very well, keeps buildup down, kills germs, and gently whitens.
All right, that's good to hear. Brother Bowman, I got a question for you. When you started out, didn't you say that you have 20 different kinds of potatoes?
Yeah, it's 20 different kinds.
Yeah, okay, man. Now, I mean, I can see 4 or 5, but 20, brother?
20.
Man, how do you go about putting this menu together?
Really, basically, it start off with a lot of the things in the menu have the same proteins in it, basically. So that's kind of how we make it easier, and we just kind of add different sauces or seasonings to it, depending on what you get. Like we have a barbecue chicken, jerk chicken, and regular chicken. That's 3 of them, but it's all chicken. You know what I'm saying? So, and then we just add seasonings to make it different. So that's kind of how it becomes so many. And then we got something like the broccoli and cheese and bacon broccoli and cheese. So it's just a slight difference that make it a different item on the menu for the most part. But it is 20 different options. So.
Well, it must be good because Brother Herman Hawkins says the potatoes are delicious, a meal within itself. So it must be good, you know. Dr. Kroom, I have a question here. 2 things. One, I see in your bio that you started this ride-along program, and you also have another program where you take young people. It's the Future Veterinarian program. Tell us a little bit about those in terms of helping young people.
Well, you know, educating is in my blood. Like I said, you know, with both parents as educators, being a veterinarian simply was not enough. So I started this Future Vet program a few years ago. And again, we met up in different pet locations. So it would be like, for instance, we went to Pet Supplies Plus one time. And I had a group of about 10 kids, maybe between the ages, maybe in the grades of 4th through 7th. And we went up and down the aisles. Every single aisle has something to do with veterinary medicine, a specialty within veterinary medicine. Even the aisle with all the toys and stuff. I'm like, you could be a veterinary entrepreneur. Kids, you know, you see this Kong toy, you can make a Christie toy, you know, take their name and tell them how they can just, you know, because if you don't think about it, you're not going to know. If someone doesn't mention something to you, like you can be a veterinarian, or even there are all these other ways that you can work with animals where you don't necessarily have to be a veterinarian. Yes, I'm a veterinarian, but everybody doesn't want to be a veterinarian. Everybody may not have the resources to do that. So you want to just cuddle up with animals all day and make a living doing that? You could be a groomer. You could be a veterinary technician. You could be an animal handler. So the Future Vet program, again, before COVID was amazing. Kids from every school in the Kalamazoo County, you know, I opened it up to the entire county, but I definitely focused on African American students who maybe didn't have all the same resources to, you know, as far as transportation and things like that. I tried to make it as accessible to everyone. And then the ride-along program, that is where I took high school juniors and seniors right along with me and my vet tech to our mobile appointments so they could see exactly what goes on. For example, we even took one student to what we call our Last Wishes service. Now, I'm sure based on the name, you can probably figure what that is. And this gives people a chance to allow their beloved pet to humanely pass away right at home instead of having to take them. You know, their dog may have come down with lymphoma last week and he's just steadily declining and different things are happening. And you don't want to pack them up in the car and take them to a cold, sterile vet office. You want to be at home where your dog has enjoyed his life. And so that is a service that is actually, they reach out to me quite a bit for our Last Wishes service. And one of the students with the ride-along program was able to go along with that and just see how we interact with the family. You know, you can't just, in the veterinary world, much as kids like to say, oh, I don't like people, I just want to work with animals, is not how it works. You know, you have to have that empathy, that ability to talk, that ability to look a person in the eye and tell them what needs to happen. And so the Ride Along program and the Future Vet program are both ones that I really hope that I can get going again here in the near future.
Okay, look, everybody has questions. There's a question for each one of you on here. Buddy, I'm going to take the Tiffany Burns, and you get ready for Jared, and then I'll come back for Dr. Kroon. So, Tiffany, here's a question for you. Does Medicare, Medicaid cover your programs for the elderly?
Yes, they do. And this great question. As of January, I think it was 2020, Medicare added dental to their benefits. So seniors, if you have Medicare, you have some type of dental coverage. Use it. It's either Delta Dental or Blue Cross Blue Shield that I'm running across that seniors are covered. So you do have dental coverage. If you're not sure, call your Medicare provider and find out what actual insurance you have.
Buddy?
You said there was a question for Jared. See, my thing, they gave me the cheap one, man. I don't even see that question.
Okay, read the one you see.
I don't see one for Jared.
Okay, read the one you see, and then
Well, okay, I see one. It was one here for Dr. Kroon. It says, do dogs/animals have allergies just like humans in the spring?
Absolutely, they do. Grass, pollen, all of that, all the same stuff. And, you know, with dogs especially, they're right down in the grass. You know, they're right down there. But another thing, too, you know, we've brought these animals from the wild into our homes. And so all those little smell goods that we have inside our house, all those air fresheners and, you know, those can really wreak havoc on your pet. Incense, you know, like, oh, you know, on the Friday night, you light some incense. Yeah, that can be, because they're right down there very low. And so, yes, it can be things in the environment out there in the wild, but it also can be right there in your own home. So keep that in mind, too.
Okay. You got one for Jared?
Yeah, I got one for Jaron, but then I just got a comment for Dr. Kroon. Someone says, I love your bedside manner. I will definitely bring my dog to you. I'm in Grand Rapids, but it sounds like it'll be worth the trip. Look at God. Okay, Dr. Spud. I'm sorry, Jared.
Y'all gonna make me a doctor today.
Hey, you got a new name now. We got a new name.
That Spud, man, is sticking in my mind. Okay, here it is, Lotus Spud. Which potato is the best? Which do you recommend getting if I were to come there? This sounds like a first-time guy.
The most popular potatoes, for sure, is the bacon, broccoli, and cheese, steak and cheese, surf and turf, that's with steak and shrimp or chicken and shrimp. The meat lovers, that's like every meat, chicken, bacon, steak, and ground beef. Or the chicken or shrimp Alfredo, that's a lot of people's favorite, too.
Man, that sounds,
really,
that sounds good.
That sounds
I mean, that just makes you really want to go get a potato. But it's got to be Lotus Spud. It can't be just
That's right.
any,
Yeah, it just can't be a potato.
a potato. Let's and we got about 14 minutes left. For each of you, if you would look into your camera, because our desire is to inspire, encourage, motivate individuals to actually become more and do more. And you guys are phenomenal examples of what can happen when you really want to and you really got that drive. So two audiences we usually ask you to speak to. We've got African Americans just watching. In light of the climate in which we're living, what would you say to them? And then we've got white individuals or other races watching. What would you say to them in the climate in which we're living? So each one of you, if you look in your camera and just speak to African Americans and then speak to white American. Who would start?
I'll go.
You go.
To my people, don't quit. Don't quit. Stay encouraged. Get involved. That's the main thing. Get involved with what's going on in your community. Don't be afraid to join boards. Don't be afraid to zoom in on the community meetings and things. That's how you'll be informed about what's really going on and not listening to Sally and Sue about what's going on. We need more representation of us on boards so things can change. It's all about policy changes. It's not about, they're doing this and doing that. They're doing that because we have no voice. So we need to be more present on boards, in meetings and things like that. To my white folks, don't judge. We're all not the same. We all have a quality that can help. So just don't judge. That's my advice.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll go next.
Doctor.
All right, so for my people, I will say, don't let the stereotypes of black folk don't like animals. There's so many stereotypes out there that say that, black people don't love, cherish, maybe some even have in the bed with them. I don't. Just keep on with your love of animals. I mean, I started loving animals and doing for them at a very young age, and you probably have too. So keep on that track. Don't let anyone deter you with negative and false stereotypes. Also, for various groups, for the older kids who are maybe see extracurricular groups and things like that, and you may look in and see a sea of non-black faces. Go on in there. You know what I'm saying? Stand up, represent, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of hard work either. It is not easy to get into vet school, but if you start now with your science classes, and your math classes, and really, really working hard there, you can know that you're setting a great foundation to be able to go to an amazing vet school like Tuskegee.
That's to your people now.
And for everyone else, one great thing about veterinary medicine in general and just animals is that, everybody does love animals. It's one field where this is one subject area where you could get a whole crowd of people together with their pets and there's gonna be no problems, So extrapolate that from your pets, white folks, into other areas of your life and realize that we're the same there as well. There's not that many differences. And, don't let if you were raised a certain way and you know that it's just not the right way to be thinking, then change that. You be the first person in your family to change that thought process about how you think about blacks, because there's an excellent panel right up here, and there's more of us than not.
All right, Dr.
Dr. Spud.
Dr. Spud. I guess I've done renamed him. Okay, Dr. Spud, come on.
For my people, most definitely, I like to say, just follow your passions for sure. My passion was, it could have been any business for me, but these two people right here, they had a passion first, and it turned into a business for them. So, you know what I'm saying? To follow your passion, it can become more in the end for you. That's the main thing. And just stay the course. We got to overcome all these negative stereotypes together and just, come together at the same time and do what's best for us. And for everybody else, basically, if you're not with it, you better get with it, or you're going to get ran over for real, because we coming. Our time is now more than ever, and, we don't got no time for that for real, so just get with it.
Thank you very much. Buddy, can you see are they showing you any of the questions? Because I see some other questions.
I see some other questions for Jaron.
Okay.
One is, do you make your own sauces?
The only sauce I make myself is the jerk sauce. That's the only thing that I make in-house. Everything else is just normal. Sour cream, ketchup, mustard, ranch, barbecue sauce.
Okay.
The normal thing.
And another one is, do you serve purple potatoes?
We serve sweet potatoes, and we serve fries additional to regular baked potatoes.
Okay. And it's another one, but I can't see that one. So
Okay, it said Dr. Spud. This is really says it's on here. This is not me. It says it on here. Dr. Spud, I'll be there before the weekend is through. You had me a steak potato. People online are calling you Dr. Spud.
That's it then. It's stuck now.
it's stuck now. And use it to your benefit. Tiffany, there's another comment here. Thank you for the dental oral hygiene tips. People perish from lack of knowledge. So you're giving out some knowledge tonight. You know, I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but one quick thing in just a little bit. All three of you are in business. What business advice would you give a person just starting out? Real quick, all three of you.
I'm gonna say the same thing I've been saying. Is just don't give up and just you know what I'm saying. Make sure y'all got a checklist of what y'all want to do, what y'all want to accomplish. That's the real. Write it down. That's the main thing in general. Is just write it down. That's the first thing I did. I just wrote my thoughts down on a piece of paper. What I want to do, what I plan to accomplish. Have a timeline for what you want to get done and stick to it. I mean, if you don't accomplish those things in that timeline, really discipline yourself and make sure and check yourself and see what you're doing wrong and what you could have been doing different to get different results in the end. So that's the main thing.
Dr. Kroon?
And I would say for those looking to get into the veterinary world, go ahead and get started. Volunteer at a shelter, SPCA. There's even places where you can work for yourself doing dog walking, through Rover and things like that. As a matter of fact, for the older kids out there, over 18, I have a business opportunity where you can potentially partner with me. I have a brand of pet CBD that I manufacture and created myself called the Dr. Kroon Army Vet brand of pet CBD. As you know, it's often used for anxiety and pain in pets. And so I'm looking for ambassadors for this, as well as another business program. So if you want to email me at info@drkroon.com and let me know that you're interested, and I'll let you know a little bit about some business opportunities.
Okay. Tiffany?
I would say mostly what Mr. Spud, Dr. Spud said.
Dr. Spud.
But also do your research. If you know you want to go into a particular field or industry, research and see what's going on in that industry at that time. Who's your competitors? Write down everything. Network. Talk to people who you know that can help you and give you some information to pursue you forward.
One thing that I'm noticing about all three of you, it seems as though what you're really saying, what you're illustrating is that you've done the work, or you do the work, and you're not afraid to show up and do the work, because it doesn't appear that any of this was handed to you. So you actually, is that correct? So it wasn't, you were just sitting around and said, look, you're a great person, here's a potato business, you're a great person, here's a veterinarian, you're a great person, go on and have your hygiene business. So it looks like you did the work, or you're not afraid to do the work. Is that right?
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Because I think that's what we really need to hear, because sometimes I think we are, and Tiffany, you said something, and that's actually just extremely biblical, because you said you actually began and you didn't quit, and all of a sudden things fell into place. So it could be just as, and Dr. Kroon said, get started. And don't let anybody stop you, because we've got evidence tonight. We've got 3 individuals, and we'll have 3 more next month, black individuals that's actually doing phenomenal things in our community. So we're celebrating Black Excellence here. Now, if there's anything else that we didn't ask you, that our audience didn't ask, that you'd like to share to our audience, take a moment to do that in our last segment here. Would anybody like to have
I thank you for all the support for Smile Savers. Whoever comes to Smile Savers, thank you for support. As you know, I am passionate about oral health. So if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, and we can get you together, get that oral health healthy for you.
And I will say that one other thing that I have done, especially for the kids, is I created a veterinary coloring book called What Kind of Veterinary Doctor Do You Want to Be? I didn't see any out there that had veterinarians of color, so I decided to make one myself. It shows all the different specialties of the veterinary field, including working in the Army. And it's actually on Amazon. So what kind of veterinarian do you want to be? I'd love for your support and to get this for your kids.
Veterinarian coloring book. Wow. Wow. Dr. Spud?
And actually, these are for, I brought several for you guys to give out to some kids for.
Oh, we'll do it.
Okay.
Definitely going to do that.
These are for
Yeah,
you guys.
we're going to make it live.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'd just like to thank the community too for all the support I've been getting since I've been open, especially opening during the pandemic. It's been a little bit rougher than normal. And if you haven't been to Lotus Spud, make sure you come down and check us out, 2624 West Michigan Avenue. Also check out our website, Lotus Spud, our Facebook page at Lotus Spud KZoo. And thank you.
Buddy?
I would just like to say, you might want to create potato number 21, the Dr. Spud.
The Dr. Spud. I got something cooking.
There you go, man. Use it to your advantage, the Dr. Spud. No, I'd just like to say once again, it's been a pleasure to talk with these young people and that the amazing things that they're doing. And we hope that, once again, we've done what we set out to do here with this program. And we've provided you with some information that will not only motivate you, but inspire you and inform you. And we want you to continue to support businesses like this and support this show.
Thank you so very much, and let us hear from you as far as our content and how we're doing. Really appreciate your feedback, and let me say to Dr. Kroon, to Jared, Dr. Spud, and to Tiffany, thank you so very much for coming tonight. This was an awesome night. Thank God for each of you and your endeavor, and we definitely pray your success, and that you will continue to just do phenomenal things. You are making a difference in our community. You are inspiring people that look like us and to do great and mighty things, and we appreciate that. So thank you so much. We thank our crew in the building for helping us tonight put this on. Thank all those that are on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
For another phenomenal show, and we'll be back in May.
Be back in May.
All right, and stay tuned to the Mount Zion Facebook and YouTube pages and other outlets to know who our guests. We got some phenomenal guests coming in May. Pray with me. God, thank you now for all the gifts that you place in the body, all the talents, all the ones you've given with inspiration and passion to push through to make our community and our people better. Thank you for using these three individuals tonight to be catalysts in our community. Lord, we appreciate you and we see your hand moving on each one of them. To that we give you glory. Now for all of our viewers, we thank you for them. We love and honor you now. In the name of Jesus, this is our service prayer. Amen. Amen. We'll see you next month on another installment on
kalamazoo.org or follow us on social media. Again, thank you for joining us, and we hope to worship with you again soon. Thank you for streaming live with us. Visit our website mountzionkalamazoo.org or follow us on social media. Again, thank you for joining us, and we hope to worship with you again soon. Thank you for streaming live with us. Visit our website mountzionkalamazoo.org or follow us on social media. Again, thank you for joining us, and we hope to worship with you again soon. Thank you for streaming live with us. Visit our website MountZionKalamazoo.org or follow us on social media. Again,